therapists, there are speech therapists, there's everything. And when we walked out of that developmental pediatricians that day, Mary was talking to me. You know when someone's talking in your ear and they're talking and you can't hear them because you're so caught up in your own stuff, it's just noise coming in? And the only thought that went through my mind was, my God, how my life is going to change. And Justin, we got involved in Taekwondo, which is a great sport, especially, it's a great sport for anyone because it's a great focused sport. But he didn't really stick with it. And then we got him involved. He played soccer for a while, but he was kind of like oil and water with a lot of the special needs kids, and we didn't really get along with them. But about 5 years ago, my daughter got invited to an ice skating party at a local ice rink, and Mary said, you know what, I'll bring Justin with me, and he can bring his DS or phone, whatever type of electronic device he had at the time. And so they go to this ice rink, and they run into my cousin Dennis, who's Dennis was a semi-professional hockey player, and he teaches hockey and teaches the kids. And he sees Mary and he says, oh man, get Justin a pair of skates and I'll get him. They have these walkers. So Justin gets a walker, a pair of skates, down on the ice, learns how to skate. 8 months goes by, he gets invited to play on a rec league team. And he gets this tremendous coach, this awesome guy named Andrew, and his son Kyle, and who really looked out for Justin. Now it was a non-checking league because Justin was a little older than the boys because physically he wasn't as able, as gifted as they were. Because most kids start hockey at like 5, 4, and Justin started skating when he was like 11. And I'm not a violent person, ladies and gentlemen, but there was an incident where a boy knocked Justin down, and Kyle wasn't even on the ice. He skated. He got off the bench and skated over and knocked this kid down to defend Justin. And I'm not a violent person, but I have to admit, I freely admit, that felt good. That he defended my son. What I used to do, and I love the kids, is I had all the boys' names, their jersey numbers, and names in my phone. And the mothers would look at me, and I like cheer for Nicholas and Kyle and Matthew and everything. They'd look at me and they're like, how do you know my son's name? And I'm like, because I wrote them down in my phone before the season started. I wanted to cheer for all the boys. But what I used to do, and all during the year, Andrew, the coach, would say to me, you know, Mr. Floyd, we're going to get Justin a goal. We're going to get him a goal. We're going to get him a goal. And I would look at him and I'd say, Andrew, I don't care about Justin scoring a goal. All I care about is that Justin is part of, one of, included in, one of the boys. That's it. That's all I want, for him to be one of. So the last game of the season, we're losing. It was like 8-2, 8-3. And what I would do is I'd make my way down out of the bleachers and come around behind the ice and meet the boys as they came up before they went in the locker room. So I come down, right? So I'm coming down around the boards, and there's a man standing on the corner of the ice, and he's screaming at Justin and screaming at the referee, that player's offsides! That player's offsides! And I looked at him and I said, sir, that's my son. That's my son. And he's a special needs kid. And he just started playing, and he doesn't understand the rules yet. And the man was very apologetic, because Justin looks like all the other kids. He looks like all you guys. And he is just like all you guys. Not here. Here. So there's a face-off. I'm standing behind the goal. There's a face-off, and Kyle takes the puck, and he passes it to Justin, and Justin skates in, and he takes a soft shot, and goes off the goalie's pad, and gets the rebound, and stuffs it in the goal. And that's the puck. From August 13, 2011. And the boys are going nuts, they're banging their sticks on the ice, and hitting Justin on the butt, and banging on the boards. That's what they do in hockey. And I'm, needless to say, I'm crying, right, because I'm so excited. And I'm banging, I was hitting the plexiglass so hard that I bent my wedding ring. And it's still bent. If you want to see it, I'll show it to you later, 5 years later. I'm crying, I'm hitting the plexi so hard because I'm so excited. And, but I knew what their intention was. And so I went over to the opposing team's bench, and I reached out my hand to the coach, and I said, thank you. And he looked me in the eye, and he said, don't thank me, thank the boys. And they were 10 and 11 years old. 5 boys let a kid score a goal, but they had no idea who was watching. One kid they have no idea that I've gone out and told that story to over 100,000 kids now. 3 years ago, I was giving an assembly, and a boy stood up and he said, Mr. Flood, Nicholas was his name. He said, I was on the ice that day. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. He lived out in the town further east on Long Island. All they did was let a kid score a goal. They had no idea how they affected their father that day. See, because when you perform an act of kindness, ladies and gentlemen, you have no idea who's watching you. You have no idea. I'm not a scientist, but I know they've done studies. We have a chemical in our brain called serotonin. It's a neurotransmitter. It's one of the chemicals that makes us feel good. When you perform an act of kindness for someone, 3 people benefit. 3 people get a serotonin boost. Them, you, and anyone who witnesses that act gets a serotonin boost. Same thing if you perform an act of unkindness. You suffer, they suffer, and anyone who witnesses that act suffers. So never underestimate the power that you have. When you're performing an act, there's always someone watching. There's always someone watching. Here comes your third challenge. When Justin was in middle school, he would come home from school every day, and I would say, hey buddy, who'd you eat lunch with today? And he would tell me, Daddy, I ate alone. And that used to crush me. I swore to myself, if I ever got a chance to go out and talk to middle school kids, high school kids, kids anywhere, that I would tell them that no one should eat alone. No one should eat alone. And there's a difference between loneliness, and I didn't say this earlier, but I'll say it to you now. There's a difference between loneliness and being alone. No one in here is alone. Because we're in the physical proximity of people. But there's people in here who are alone. And loneliness is toxic. I was watching a program on PBS the other night in the hotel, and it was about heroin. And loneliness leads to not just drugs, not just to cutting, it's just toxic. It leads people to do things that they would not normally do if someone would just tap them on the elbow and say, hey, are you okay? Can I help you? Would you like to eat lunch with me? Can I sit with you? It's toxic. I met with a couple of the freshman leaders this morning, and I heard a statistic on the other day that there's more text conversations now than there are either face-to-face meetings and actual voice talking on the phone. You can't tell someone's emotions from an emoticon. You can't tell how angry someone is at you from capital letters. You know? You can't express that in a text. Express it by looking someone in the eye. And I don't know what the dynamics are in your cafeteria or your lunchroom or whatever they call it, you know, but don't let anyone, and listen, there's a lot of things you can do alone. You can read alone, you can study alone, you can go to a movie alone, you can play a game alone, you can talk on your phone alone. But for me, there's something important about a meal to share with someone. And I realized only weeks ago where this came from with Justin. When my mom threw my dad out of the house when I was 13, every year I maintained an extremely close relationship with my dad, and I worked with him all the time. Every year I would ask my dad, where are you having Thanksgiving dinner? And he would tell me, David, I'm going to go to the diner. Alone. And so when Justin came home from middle school and told me he was eating alone, all of that old stuff came up for me. And it was just like this passion where I said, why do people eat alone? I mean, I ate alone in a restaurant. I had breakfast alone yesterday morning in Old Town, and I did alone. But I mean, I'm okay alone. You know? I'm okay alone, but I know when I'm feeling lonely that I need to reach out to someone. And here's the thing, I'm here all day for lunch, and I have no one to eat with, so if I don't get like 500 invitations, and I'm not eating with Mr. Mills, well, maybe I will, I don't know. But I'm going to be in the cafeteria, so what is it today? Is it pizza on Fridays? Is there anything good? Just a pretzel and Coke. So no one, French fries, so no one, and it doesn't matter how they react. It's like giving money, everybody's like, should I give money to a homeless person or not? It's not about that, okay? It's not how they react, it's you, right? What did Mother Teresa say? It's not between you and them, it's between you and God. That's who it's between, right? All I can do is reach out to other people. So you have 3 challenges today. What's your first challenge? Look on the inside. You gotta be careful which fingers I put up. Second challenge is thank 2 adults in the building, and don't forget the bus driver, custodians, security guards, people who are outside the building too. And your third challenge is no one eats Excellent. Unless they want to be. You know, I'm a hospice volunteer. My patient right now